fell in love with my husband's boyfriend.
We are in an ethically non-monogamous relationship. People don't take me seriously as a bisexual man.
How do you guys feel about the ethical non-monogamy kind of side of our relationship?
It's wild.
My name's Gerald. I make spicy content for a living.
And I am Arizona. I also make spicy content for a living.
We are in an ethically non-monogamous relationship.
My partner is also into men.
So I was leaving a 10-year marriage and was ready to get out in the dating scene. I had one match and it was from Arizona. She was married at the time and she was looking for a bisexual boyfriend to date on her own and occasionally share with her husband.
I was married to my high school sweetheart. I had been with that guy. At that time, it was like 9 years. I was hot wifing around. I want something more regular, maybe a little bit more emotionally connected. You were the first person that I intentionally dated.
It was definitely a surreal moment when I first laid eyes on her. She got out of her car in her sundress and was standing in the parking lot waiting for me, and I knew right then and there. I was like, I'm in trouble.
And you showed up with a book and a rose, and it was a book that you had been reading that I was interested in. You wanted to share that with me.
Yeah.
We were living as a throuple. It started to become more and more obvious to me how poorly I had been treated when I now had somebody that was treating me so incredibly. We had kind of a bad trip altogether.
I moved out like 2 days later.
He moved out. A few months go by. I'm simultaneously getting messages from him being like, hey, I really hate to break this to you, but I found your man online again, cheating on you. At that point, it was like, that was it for me.
We had never lost contact with each other.
No.
We were still very much best friends in a lot of ways. As soon as that relationship was signed, sealed, and delivered and done, we just embraced being together. Okay, I got a handful of things for today.
We are gonna shoot some funny promo content for social media. Just kind of seeing what works for us today. If any of these are
Too many straps for me.
Too many straps.
I don't have capacity for all those straps.
Something strappy, something lacy, something, more
Harnessy,
cosplay-y. I started shooting spicy content as soon as I turned 18, but I didn't take it seriously and have all of my dedicated pages until 2022.
I volunteered to help get the pages started,
Yeah.
get everything off the ground, and be sort of that administrative assistant. And then by April of 2023, she had enough requests in her inbox for the tattooed gentleman that appears.
Yeah, but your husband, what about him?
Does he have his own page, and is he making his own spicy content? The day I started my account, I was doxxed and fired from my career of 15 years. Yeah, so we've been doing it full-time for over 2 years now.
I think the harness could be nice.
Harnesses are usually a good choice, yeah.
I encourage independence, so I refuse to dress him. I want to see what his own ideas are, but I definitely love to help him get dressed. We bounce ideas off of each other. I think I've got the perfect thing. They're matching. We've got some good ideas for content to do with these. And of course,
I love hot dads. I have not always been openly bisexual. My entire life, I was closeted until we started making spicy content 2 years ago. And that's when I fully came out of the closet and kind of owned who I am and what I believe in. I was married for 10 years before I met Arizona, and it was a very closeted marriage. It was very sexually frustrating and vanilla, as it's called. Desperately was not what I believed in at all to who I am. Some of the judgment that I have received from being a bisexual man, it's been a lot. I get told often that from straight people and from gay people that I'm not one or the other, that I'm not actually into men, or that I'm not actually into women, or that my wife is just my beard.
I'm a cover-up. He's actually just gay.
I'm just actually gay, and that's why I allow her to date outside. It's almost like I'm lesser of a man because I'm into both genders.
You're not considered gay enough because you're married to a woman.
Yes. I'll have gay people subscribe to my page and be like, I love your gay content. And be like, but I can't see you with a woman. That's absolutely disgusting. And I have to go. My page literally says pansexual DILF living in the desert.
You get all of the things.
Father's Day, I guess.
You have to change.
Absolutely not. It looks better on me.
Can we bring him home together?
Yeah, let's do it. I love hot dads.
You like get really like questioned your like character and your being and your like
My existence in general.
existence in life.
How can I let my wife be active with other people? I heard oversharing, but this is ridiculous.
These people are real. This is sad as
You have lost your man card.
You're just being mean to be mean. For what?
I like to poke a little bit.
Yeah, we
at
poke
comments.
a little.
And I like to try to make them feel dumb for the things that they're saying.
So
Like,
why?
really? Like, think
But
about.
why?
Today we're gonna go see your parents and find out what they really think about me.
They're gonna have some strong opinions, especially about first meeting you.
When Arizona first told me about Gerald, I was worried. I was a little concerned about the dynamic of the situation.
It was a different way to meet, a boyfriend or something like that. We kind of don't really want to meet him.
I asked a lot of questions. What if you catch feelings one for the other? What if it gets confusing?
What did you guys think whenever I first told you that me and my now ex-husband had a boyfriend?
I thought y'all were crazy. I was worried. I couldn't see a world where somebody wasn't going to get hurt. I thought it would be you.
For me, it was, I had questions because that's a little unconventional. We talked about it and we looked at, you gotta be careful what you search up. But
And I appreciated that you handled it with such grace. You could tell that there was more thought going into like, how do I want
You didn't
to
walk away grounded.
handle? That's what I'm saying. And like, it was obviously a different position to be in, being like, yeah, ground me, I dare you, I live on my own.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? Be mad?
Yeah.
But like, also, like, I don't want you to be mad at me.
I think that you talking to me about it in the way that you did and being so upfront and honest and saying, I know you're not going to get this, but here's what's going on. I took away that, like, babe, this is our responsibility to get right with this.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this is what's
good way to
making
look
you
at it.
happy and whatever. And this is like
Yeah.
our responsibility type thing. So
Yeah.
we're like, do we understand it?
Yeah, because what else are
No.
you gonna do?
you find yourself wanting to go why, and you want a definitive explanation of why you're choosing to do this. But again, we never ask the why because I don't believe it's something for us to understand.
You don't need to understand.
It doesn't require a why or yes or no.
We kept saying, what are we afraid of? And it was like your happiness and your
Yeah.
well-being, like your emotional happiness,
Yeah.
your
Yeah, we're trying
emotional,
to figure it
mental
out.
happiness and healthiness and all of that too.
How do you guys feel like about the ethical non-monogamy kind of side of our relationship and that like dynamic?
It's wild because it's kind of the same. It's something that I don't understand. Could I go do it? No. It's not something that I can picture in my life where it would just be okay. I have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
But you guys you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
I think that your heart's taken care of, and I think that you're in a pretty good place.
For me personally, it's an avenue I wouldn't take. But
Yeah,
again,
you're trying
that
to
was
picture yourself in those shoes, and you're
Yeah.
like,
I think
could
that's
I
the
do that?
natural
How would I
way.
do that? Would
Yeah.
I do that? In what scenario would I do it? Yeah, like
that
when you go through
monogamous
those.
wiring that we all have just inherently, just through social.
He's always like, I can't imagine just you're leaving for the weekend. You're going to.
Yeah, you're going where, for who, with what?
it took some time for me to understand the whole dynamic
Yeah.
of
To
what you
grasp
guys
the
do.
concept.
Yeah.
But I understand that it's more common than we know, and it's a way that you guys are making a great living for yourself.
I think the conversation with your parents went really well. Not surprised by some of the things that they said. It was good to be a little bit more candid with them. That was the first time that we've ever actually sat down and talked to them
Like,
about.
yeah, so what was your perception? Like,
do you like me? The rules for dating outside of our relationship, it's just more communication. It's talking through needs and wants and expectations.
we do like to know what's going on.
Respectful check-ins.
Respectful check-ins and stuff.
It's really hard to pick one thing that I like about you. It's literally everything. I've been obsessed with your whole person since the day I met you. You know, you're just so raw and authentically yourself that it's hard to not fall in love with you and be obsessed with you.
It's really hard to pick one thing that you love most about someone who is like your bestest friend in the whole world. I think it's the way that you show up for me and for the people that you love. And I love you for showing up for us all the time.
Always. Anyone who
Yeah.
judges our relationship, haters gonna hate.
Your hate can't touch me.